Hello, this is Faith at Faith and Books, and I'm continuing my series on the 5 R's of zero waste or low waste living. I don't think you can ever actually be zero waste, so that term kind of bothers me. I like low waste better. But anyway, the zero waste is sort of the term of art, so it's more generally accepted. Anyway, the third R, okay, so there's 5 R's. It's refuse, reduce, and now we're at reuse. So we're at the third R, reuse. Now, this actually has several words that you could put in here. So reuse, repurpose, refurbish, and repair. All those things that extend the life of something. That's what falls into this category. So for reuse, of course, it's the opposite of something that's disposable. So you could buy little plastic sponges to wash with, or you could get I use dish rags that I can wash and use pretty much for years till it's threadbare, and I can clean that way. I don't need disposable sponges. There's a lot of choices you can make. You can go out there and make choices and buy things that you can reuse again and again and again. And it's not disposable. It's just not one or two or just a few uses and then it's gone. So I was trying to think about things that we reuse, and I went down to the kitchen and I saw this sitting on my counter. So this is a milk bottle, and I'd forgotten that this is something I did, and it's only been a few months. But over the Christmas time, or like beginning even before Thanksgiving, they start selling this really good eggnog from this company, Homestead Creamery. And my family loves eggnog. Like, they're just so excited when that time of year rolls around, and we drink eggnog from, Halloween through, the new year. And they sell it in these reusable jugs. You can get milk this way too, of course. Now, I don't know how it is where you are. You might not have this available. This is only available in some stores. It's not available in the bigger grocery chains that I know of. Maybe more recently they are. I haven't been in them, in those types of stores for a while. But there's a couple of stores around here where you can get milk in glass bottles. Whole Foods has some. The store I go to, the Fresh Market, that's where I got this. And then that organic store that I used to go to, they also had it. I don't know about the other stores around here. We have a Harris Teeter. I don't know if they carry it. Giant, Safeway, Wegmans. I'm not sure about those stores, and I'm not sure about other stores like Target or those types of places. But this is nice because you can reuse the bottle. So they put a new cap on, which is plastic, and that tells you what is actually contained in the bottle. So it could be 2% whole milk, eggnog, whatever, chocolate milk. But yeah, and then you have to remember to take it back. So what happened was, I used to do this regularly, where I would buy milk in glass in even a half gallon. This is just, how big is this? I'm not sure what this is. I used to try to buy my milk in glass jars and then remember to return it. Well, this past, and I was still doing that off and on. I'm not 100% consistent with it, but I had such a buildup of these glass jugs on my counter that I said, no, I'm going to take a break from this for a while. And I realized I still haven't cleared them all out because I saw this one downstairs. So I need to return this to the store. You do pay like a $2 deposit, but then when you bring it back, you'll get that back. They give you the $2, which I liked because I liked having the $2 in my pocket, because I tend to just do everything with my debit card, and a lot of times I don't have cash on hand, and sometimes you still need some cash. So it was nice to get those $2 and stick it in my pocket. Anyway, so this is an example of reusing things, and it's something that I should try to get into again. I forgot about that. What happened was, though, I learned that our recycling facility here, I went on a tour of it a few years ago, and they said that the cardboard containers for milk, they melt off the plastic coating and use the cardboard, whereas they don't always have a market for the plastic jugs. Sometimes they do have a market, sometimes they don't, and so that can just turn into trash. So if you have to decide between getting the cardboard cartons and the jugs, the plastic jugs, go for the cardboard cartons. So like this is my first choice because I can return it and reuse the glass. Then I do the cardboard cartons, and I hardly ever get the jugs. Although right now, or at least as of a few months ago, you always have to keep up with this. They were recycling milk jugs, but it's off and on, so it's not certain. Anyway, this is an example of reusing something, bringing your glass milk jugs. So that's reuse. Then there's repurpose. So that's taking something and maybe instead of throwing it out, reusing it for something else. So, I mean, I can't think of an example. Is there anything we've done that... I can't think of anything. I mean, I know I'm not so good in this area because it takes hands-on skills to be able to do stuff like that. And so I can't really think of anything. I mean, I know you can, oh, I don't know. Nothing's coming to mind. I've heard people like repurposing their changing table for, like a potting area for their gardens and that sort of thing. But I can't think of anything right now. But you know what I mean. When you repurpose something, when you take something and you convert it into some other use instead of throwing it away. So let's see. So reuse, repurpose, refurbish. Of course, that's just taking something that's, seen better days and fixing it back up again. So people do that with furniture, for example. So you can do stuff like that. I just thought of an example about repurposing. I don't know, what category would this fall into? There's a lady who lives near me who's very active in environmental things, and she sews, and what she does is she collects scrap material that people don't want, and she sews it into reusable shopping bags. So she's reusing, repurposing into something that people can reuse. And then she just gives them out for free. She just does it as a thing to get people to bring their own bags to the grocery store. So that's an example that would fall in this category. And then the last thing I want to talk about is repair. So there's reuse, repurpose, refurbish, and repair. And of course, a lot of products now they're starting to get flack, especially, companies like Apple and stuff, where they plan obsolescence. Is that how you say it? Obsolescence? Which means that they make it so that what they're producing, what they're selling you will have a short life. This is especially true with electronics. They're going to update, or they're going to come out with another, edition of it that's got things that are incompatible with other things. So then you have to go buy the next thing up. And they do it on purpose just to keep you buying more and more stuff. And also a lot of things now are made really cheaply. Like you used to be able to buy, a washing machine and it would last you 30 years. And now you're lucky if you get a few years out of it. Same with dishwashers. Seems to me dishwashers break so much faster than they used to. So there's a lot of that going on too, just cheaply made stuff that is not built to last very long. And that's bad. That's exploitative. And it's, creates needless waste. But, it's all for money. So now what was I saying? So because of this, we have a very, at least where I am in the first world, it's a very disposable, everything's disposable kind of mentality where you just go get the next thing. And of course we're bombarded with advertisements and everything. So we're really, what's the word, brainwashed. We're really just fed all this stuff. So that's the first thing we think. We don't think about our own. Some people are more handy and they'll try to fix things. But a lot of times people just feel helpless. They have no idea. And also things get more and more complicated, so then you can't fix them like you used to. They're not simple anymore. But there is a movement. It started in Europe, and it's called Repair Cafe, and I will link to it below. And what they do is they try to find people who are skilled in fixing things, and they set up an event somewhere. It could be like at a firehouse or at a hardware store or at a community center or something like that, or a school gym. And they'll bring these people in, and people can just bring their broken, blender or whatever it is that broke, and you don't know what to do with it, and they'll try to fix it for you. And it's called Repair Cafe, and I think that's the neatest idea, and I've been wanting to go to one for ages. They had one at a hardware store a couple of years ago, and there's like a hub for it over in Maryland, where the guy, I think he hosts them and he trains people and that sort of thing. I've never made it over there to find out more about it, but that is a really neat idea. So repair cafes. There's certain things you can still get repaired. Like we bought our washer and dryer from a locally owned independent distributor of like appliances, and they'll come out and fix it for you. I mean, you can still get your appliances fixed, but a lot of times the people, it seems like they don't really know what they're doing, or I don't know. We had some really bad experiences with some appliance repair people, but not at this particular place, where I think there's really a pride in running their business well. And like I had vacuum cleaners. My mother had a vacuum cleaner that lasted for 25, 30 years, and I don't remember her. I mean, maybe once or twice she had to go get it repaired. I get vacuum cleaners, and they have to be repaired in a couple of years. Like, it's crazy how often I bring it into the shop. I mean, it's just really, I've gone through a number of vacuum cleaners. They just don't make things the way they used to. They really don't. And even if you can technically repair it, you're always going back to repair it. Things just aren't made as well. So Repair Cafe. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, the other thing in terms of repair, there's a really neat volunteer group, the next county over. I wish we had it in our county. I wish it was all over the place. They call them Energy Masters, and they train volunteers to do little things that will save energy costs for poor people. So they'll go, and the landlords aren't taking care of things the way they ought to and that sort of thing. They'll go into these apartment houses that are kind of run down where poor people live, and they'll fix things, they'll clean out the vent or the whatever it is in the refrigerator so the refrigerator will run better. They'll do all sorts of little, honeydew kind of things around the house that help with saving energy. And I think it's a neat organization. At one point I tried to get my son Josh to join it, but that never went anywhere. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to link to that also below. Even though it's just a very local thing, it's not even in my county, it's the next county over. I just think when I heard about it, I thought it was such a brilliant idea to go in and help these poor people so they don't have to spend so much money on their energy bills. So that's another way repair helps. So I feel like I'm getting less and less coherent as I do these videos. I still have 2 more to go, rot and recycle. And I might wait to make those because they have a lot of details in them. And I find I can't just keep making videos one after the other and stay coherent. I'm barely coherent on my best day. So, all right. Okay, well, that's enough of that. So at some point I'm going to make the 2 remaining videos, but you won't even be able to tell because they're just going to pop up on the right day, hopefully. All right, take care and talk to you later. Bye.